Hey, mate.
Hey, buddy.
How you going?
I'm good. How are you doing, man?
Not as well as you. You're on a boat. You're doing it right.
I know
That's how to avoid the virus.
Everybody's getting so mad at me because I'm calling them from like a boat in South Carolina.
You're just smarter than all of us. You know what you're doing.
I mean, I heard isolation, quarantine for long period of time, and I couldn't think of anything better than like beaches and boats, right? So
yeah, on a boat with little Gus. He's been through the water as well, poor fella.
He's loving it down here, man. In comparison to my like tiny apartment in Boston, this is like heaven on earth for him.
Yeah, well, he deserves it, poor little fella.
He does. He's doing better now.
Is he good all right now?
Yeah,
is he good now?
Yeah, he's on a prescription food for like the rest of his life. Because I guess he's got like a genetic disposition for these bladder stones, so he's got to be really careful. But thanks for asking about it, man. Yeah, he's all good. I'm sure.
I love that. He's such a cute dog.
He is.
He's brilliant.
Yeah, I think he's a lot happier down here. Just it's warmer. He can go in and out of the boat all day, so he's in. Does
he get in the water?
He hates water with passion.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, but he doesn't have to up here. You're on a boat, not in the water. There's a difference, right? Hopefully, if I wake up in the water, something's gone horribly wrong.
Yeah, let's hope it doesn't come to that.
How you doing though, man? How's Newport?
Yeah. Well, Newport, it's the city itself's pretty much in a lockdown. All essential businesses have had to be closed. We've been shut down for 6 days now.
Wow.
Coming up to a week. So it was last Wednesday evening. It was like 9 p.m. I'd worked Wednesday and then get an email saying, the circumstances have changed dramatically where we need to shut from 9 p.m. tonight. So it's like, okay. And that's it. I only went back in the next day briefly just to get some balls to help out. But,
man.
Yeah, it's a weird situation right now for everyone.
That is weird, man. And is that like the whole Hall of Fame and everything? And
yeah, so how it started, they slowly closed over like 5 days. So when the rest of Newport were closing down museums and shutting the bars, they decided to close their museum and not allow the public in. That only members could come play. You're only allowed you couldn't use the showers or anything. You could just use the bathroom to go in and out. And you could only come 15 minutes before your time, and you had to leave straight away. So for court tennis and for their tennis, there was no hanging around the pro shop or anything. It was just you could come play, you could book in a lesson, no more than 4 on a court. So, and that was for a few days, and then they just shut everything down.
It's crazy how fast it happened, isn't it? It went from like no cases, everybody's completely fine, to like 3 days later they're like shut it down.
It's just so fast. I realize this nasty virus is the only way.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me, man. You don't want to get this virus. No, you do not. I'm so scared about like giving it to like my parents or like older people.
Well, that's the important thing of staying locked down.
Yeah. So that's why I came down here and like family wants to see me, and I'm like, no, man. Like maybe in a couple weeks if I don't have any symptoms for the next couple weeks, but not right now. Because coming
and
from
also with your own health issues as well.
Yeah, I'm a little bit
symptoms.
worried about the side effects, but I don't know. I'm hoping I haven't felt anything, so far so good. But obviously, I don't want to take any extra risk. So.
No, I think just stay hidden out on a boat.
Yeah,
that's the way to do it.
I'm okay with it. Well, I appreciate you doing this, man. It's I figured this would be a good way to kind of break up some of the monotony of all this, because
I think it's brilliant that you've come up with this. So
it's
to all your buddies in court tennis.
Let's be honest, we're the last people that are used to being stuck home all day, unable to do anything. So being on lockdown,
it's a weird situation. You sort of look forward to doing nothing, but then after like a few days, you're like, okay, I'm ready to go back and train and go to the gym. Like, everything's shut.
Yeah.
I'm over this now.
Yeah. So what have you been up to? How are you feeling the days?
So there's definitely been a bit of TV watching, but most mornings I fit in a workout and I'm reading some books, some educational books,
nice.
More on finance, just to teach myself to get financially smart.
Yeah.
And now's a better time than ever to sit down and read and try and teach myself some new things about the world and about finance.
Good, man. That's awesome.
So basically that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Awesome. You sewing balls as well?
What's that?
Are you sewing balls while you're home?
Oh yeah, man. I managed to grab a bunch.
Dude, my running joke is that
we'll be ahead. All the clubs in real tennis will be ahead of balls.
That's my running joke. Is just like when we reopen, every club's set for years for balls. No one's gonna struggle.
Exactly. The chance to get ahead.
Yeah.
No kidding.
So
what have you been doing?
Dude, I've just been kind of relaxing. It's kind of the same thing. The first couple of days you want to just like take it in because we don't get the opportunity to just sit at home and relax that often.
That's true.
But then, same thing. I've been trying to like fit in 1 or 2 workouts a day. I was trying to
that's good.
My thought was to like try and focus in on a weakness, and which for me right now is like flexibility. So trying to incorporate in some more yoga and things like that to just work on that side of things, Just because I figure, like while we got this break, it's kind of like same as like you learning like the finance stuff. It's like it's a really good opportunity to kind of grow as a person and kind of figure out things or do things or break bad habits or encourage good habits one way or the other.
For sure.
Just trying to take advantage while I can.
Stretching is it's my nemesis. I hate doing it.
Dude,
I know I should get the yoga as well. I just hate it.
That's the thing.
I'm doing something slightly different as well, working on the mind. So getting into meditation, mindful.
Oh, cool.
The mindfulness app. Yeah. So I think that's a good one to train. Just help me in everyday life. Also on tennis court, being able to stay in the moment. And, one point at a time and not let the situation overwhelm you. And
I think that's the right way to do it, man. And that's the thing is it applies to like life, not just tennis, right? Because it's just being like kind of able to kind of get control of yourself mentally is never a bad thing, right? It doesn't matter. Like take court tennis out of it, just in day-to-day situations, it just can't hurt, can it? To be better at that.
Absolutely. Learn how to deal with the stresses and everyday life. Yeah, it's a good thing.
How's
it's a good tool to have.
Yeah. How are your parents and everybody doing overseas? Because you got was it brother and sister in England?
Yeah.
And then parents in Australia.
Brother and sister in England. They got some. Yeah. So my brother and sister, they've been in lockdown for like 9 days now, and it's got really strict in England in the last 24 to 48 hours.
Oh wow.
You can't even leave, I think, without having a signed letter to say where you're going. So that's a weird situation. Brother's an athlete as well, and part of a professional cricket team, and they have to train at home. There's no.
Jeez.
It's everyone's in the same situation together. It's just hopefully this will unite the world and we'll have a better understanding for everyone once we get through this. Mum and Dad, I think the Royal Melbourne just shut down a couple of days ago, but I do need to make a call into them. I think I spoke to them maybe 3 days ago just to find out what happened, because the letter that was sent out by Royal Melbourne's president may sound like some jobs may be in trouble. So I'm not sure what's going on there. So I need to give them a call.
You do?
So I was just from reading saying like, the president's letter was just saying that it's a tough time and there might have to be some tough decisions with the staff. So it's something along those lines. So
it's funny you say that, because talking to pros outside the U.S. versus inside the U.S., the difference in kind of the security, I think we're very lucky here in the U.S. with these little bit bigger clubs.
The Hall of Fame is amazing.
Yeah, they've been.
The Hall of Fame are going to pay us our salary, and for the next pay period pays as if our average of the lessons we give.
Really, that's great.
Yeah, the Tennis Hall have been wonderfully supportive of all their staff.
That's the thing. I've heard a lot of that from like more of the U.S. based pros, but obviously like UK pros, a lot of those guys are like more self-employed or along those lines, and are really kind of struggling.
I think it's a little bit like Australia, because one of it is the pros are paid through their income is generated by the court fees that they create for the club, and there's going to be no court fees.
Right.
See, that's why I've always thought that you should have part of your membership. There should be one option in a membership is that you could pay for the court fees throughout the year, a bit like how Newport does it.
Yeah.
That gives the club security, because if a player gets injured 3 months down the line, they've already paid for the year. That's just hard luck. But if they're paying court fees, they're not going to play for another 6 months.
Yep.
So
It's true.
And you still don't take away the other option. You just offer that option. And I think it would have created some security.
Yeah, it's just
for
anything
pros and for clubs.
It's anything to just kind of get some guaranteed money coming in to the club, which allows you to give guaranteed money to the pros, right?
That's where a lot of America does it. America does it right.
Yeah, we do a pretty good job of that.
Yeah.
So hold on. I have my $1 million question for you. Is can we please find a way to make pro singles happen? Yeah, this is a very selfish request. I need this to happen. I don't know if you know this, but I like that tournament.
we don't, as far as I'm aware, we're not looking to cancel it, but it's likely to be postponed and trying to find a date this year. It would be, having spoken with Mike and Brewer, we do want to keep it on. It would be trying to find the right date to fit it in. It's hard to make a decision.
Oh, right now it's impossible.
We're not looking to cancel. We haven't cancelled. I mean, by a miracle, we could get it on in June, we will.
I don't think there's any way.
Also, we've got to go by the USCTA as well. I think they're going to make a decision.
I just don't think any of this is anywhere near resolved by June. I'd be amazed if it is by the end of summer.
We will look to find another day.
Yeah, well, that's awesome.
So rest assured, we're not planning on cancelling, but we will.
I just,
do everything we can to get it's a good tournament for me too.
I think it's pretty much everybody's favorite tournament, if we're honest. So
it's just finding the right date, because obviously your world champs are in October.
I was having this conversation with one of the guys the other day, and I reckon that we don't play the fall season.
Yeah.
I reckon the rest of this year is out.
Wipe out. What about pro singles? If you want to wipe it out,
everything has to either be postponed or moved to next year. I just don't see a way. I just don't think we're going to get on top of it well enough by the fall to have
definitely
the
need to cancel the IRTPA for sure.
Yeah, I just think that because from a lot of what I'm being told is that things are going to get a little bit better during the summer, but we're going to have all these cases catching up, right? Where we don't actually know how many people have it, but then it's going to come back in the fall when it gets cold again, and so it's going to be like, oh, we're okay. Oh no, we're not okay. So which would be awful. But I think
it's a tough decision to do. We've got 2 majors played out already this year.
I know.
And to cancel the majors, you never know. You might have to, but it's hard. It's hard to. The French ones, it's a tricky time, September. That's sort of when we would like to maybe do the US Pro. We don't know.
That'd be a good time of year to be in Newport as well. Oof.
Yeah, early September.
Yeah.
Great time.
But
yeah, I presume that the UK Pro Singles wouldn't happen. Or would they do that still in October with your World Champs?
I mean, I thought I heard that there was a 2-year deal with Wellington to host it again. So originally in October. So I assume that that's still happening. Obviously, the World Champs getting moved kind of threw everything for a bit of a loop.
That was the best decision.
It was. I'm glad, and I was really proud of them for making it early and not faffing with it at all. Because
you didn't want to put it in a position where you had to cancel, because if you did that, then it's over. That's
the thing, if they'd waited much longer, then you're looking at that potential of me having to come forward and be like, guys, I'm not going to come to this event. And that just looks bad for everybody. Whereas the way they did it was really professional and kind of got it out there quickly with a new date as well. And I was really glad and proud of how they handled that. So it was nice to see. Couple more questions for you here. All right. So obviously you told me you're studying a little bit, doing the finance and trying to get the workouts in. Has anything positive or interesting arisen in your life as a result of this kind of home isolation? And I know that's a really weird question given the situation, but I'm going to preface it with the idea is that it's really easy to be negative right now with everything that's going on. And I would love for everybody to kind of look inside and find something positive that's coming from this situation. So,
well, I haven't been thinking too negatively, fortunately. I think the positive thing is that I see the way the human race is reacting around the world, and most people are trying to do the right thing and be together. So hopefully, as a race, we'll all come out being better people. Positive for me is just being able to take time to learn and educate myself on some things that I've been wanting to but been putting off, because at the end of a long day teaching, I get home and just want to put my feet up. So that's the positive thing for me, selfishly.
Yeah, no, I was really glad to hear that, man. I was really glad to hear that, because it's so easy to just kind of sit back, and laziness breeds laziness, right? And so it's so easy to kind of get caught up in that. So I was really happy when you told me that because I think that's such a great way to look at it, and such a positive mindset to go into it with, and it's an opportunity, not a detrimental time period, right?
That's what I think. I mean, absolutely. It's tough what everyone's going through, but it's not like we're going through a world war or a war against a virus, but we can stay home and be safe, and it's a chance to teach us skills that we never thought we'd have the time to do.
Yeah.
I'm teaching my roommate Ryan how to be a good roommate.
I don't know if you have that much time, man. Hey!
Nah, this guy. What's up, Cam?
What's going on?
I just saw an ad. You seen that commercial with, what kind of dog do you have?
Corgi.
Yeah, Corgi. Do you see that Corgi commercial ad?
No. What company?
Watch YouTube enough times, you'll see it.
Okay.
It's hilarious.
I'm going to superimpose it in the corner of this video right now when I post this.
Exactly.
All right. Well, so last question, man, and then I will let you go, all right?
Sounds good.
So obviously there's a lot of court tennis, real tennis fans out there right now that can't play, right? They have nothing to do. They're all stuck at home. Do you have any advice or drills or anything that they can do at home to improve their games right now?
Yeah, I've thought about this. I knew that was one of the questions you had.
Yeah.
There's two things. One thing that they can all do is take time to work on their core and their legs. It doesn't have to be much, but each day, just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Squats, planks, just core-related exercise to build up the area, get strong. Because most people play real tennis, and they do it because they love it, but they also play it to keep fit. But that's the wrong mentality. You need to get fit to play real tennis, so they don't have injuries and they'll be more successful. Something I think they can work on is getting a good pre-game routine, a good routine through the matches, being able to stay in the moment. So learning. So many people will muck up a shot and they're still carrying it with them to the net, waiting for the return serve. They're still berating themselves, and then they're stressed out about what's going on, the score and the game, and they're taken so far away. So they can practice a little routine in between each point, reset themselves, take a couple breaths, and come into the next point with a fresh mind.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
So work on the mental side.
And those two actually kind of go together, because you can kind of, if I was piecing together, say, a workout based on that, I would look at it and say, okay, you basically, let's say you're going to do lunges with some rotations and things like that.
Yeah.
But in between each round, right, you're going to take 15 seconds to reset mentally and refocus in, right? So that you're forcing yourself you're creating that routine mentally of whatever it might be, a couple deep breaths, wiping your hands off, toweling off, whatever it's going to be, but you do it every time.
Whatever works for you. Absolutely, just to reset yourself. But these players they hit the ball, they're not thinking. You can see they're carrying, they can be affected by a shot that happened 20 points ago. And they're still caring about that. So it also takes away the pressure of the situation. If you just, all you care about is your routine and doing that, and you just, all right, you can be annoyed at the time when it happened, but you go get your ball, back serve, you reset yourself, you're good. It's over.
Yeah, I like that.
Definitely work on that.
That's a really good one, man.
We'll see. Yeah.
Good.
So anyway, there you go.
There you go. I appreciate it. All right, man. Well, thank you very much, man. It's been good to catch up.
You too, man.
I hope you stay safe up there, man, and hopefully this will be over somewhat soon for us. But
I hope you and I will be practicing soon.
Exactly. So I cannot wait to get back out there. I think the whole real tennis world is going to have a whole new appreciation for getting out on court after this. So.
Well, hopefully they'll appreciate watching the pros play, so they may feel they've been starved of some top-level competition.
Exactly.
We might get a few more people coming out to watch. You never know.
You never know. Well, dude, we'll keep in touch.
Might double up crowds of 4.
We need more, as many as we can get, right?
Exactly.
Well, dude, we'll keep in touch, but stay safe and enjoy it up there, all right?
You too, man. Give Gus a hug for me.
I will. I will speak to you later.